Hey everyone, it's Laura here with part 2 of how to use the Quilt Your Own Adventure add-on in PreQuilt. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how I was able to create this quilt right here. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is to import the quilt layout that we would like to use. So there's a lot of different layouts in the book, and the one that we're going to need to use to recreate the cover is the offset. And I'm going to hit import. And so what it's going to do is it's going to copy this quilt layout and put it into our Quilt's dashboard. To be able to edit it or to be able to make our own, we're going to open the quilt. And you can see here that because this is a starter quilt, it means it has all 30 of the modern blocks preloaded. And we have the layout in the background that we could add the blocks on top of. So we're going to just get started from here. The first thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to add a block. I like to select where I would like the block to go, and by clicking on the field, it will be then outlined in blue. So that's how you know that you have this cell or this block area selected. And this is what we call the digital design wall, and I've selected these 2 cell blocks. Then I'm going to scroll to the block that I would like to add. And I think it's this one. And then I can see here I can click on Add to Quilt. And then 2 of these blocks are going to go into these 2 cells in the same orientation that it is here. So to deselect, just click on the outside of the area, and I can see now I have those 2 blocks. The next thing I'm going to show you here is how to rotate the block so that it's in the right orientation. Again, you're going to need to select the cell block that you want to do, or the quilt block. So I'm going to click on this field, and you can see how it's now selected. It's in blue. And up here we have the rotate button, and I can click on that the number of times until it's pointing the direction I want it to be pointing in. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to add this other block A, which in this case is going to be this block here, block number 14. I'm going to add it, and then I'm going to want to rotate it again using this button until it's in the right orientation, like it is on the cover. Oops, I passed it. So there we go. So now we have it in the right order. However, instead of being black and white, we want this block to be black and green. So how do we change that? This is a good time to talk to you a little bit about color tags. A color tag is a buddy between a piece of the block and a fabric. When you go to the left-hand control panel and you collapse it, you can click on color tags to expand it. And you can see here that we have 3 color tags. We have A, B, and C. This block here is using A and B, as well as this block here. And we're going to want to change this block so that instead of using A, and B, it's going to use A and C. So we want to create a new buddy for this block. We don't want it to be tagged with B anymore. We want it to be tagged with C. So the way to do that is we're going to left click, edit the block. So here we have our block. And we want to keep the black, but we want the white to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on all the white, select all, and then I'm going to link it to this new color. There we go. So now instead of using the white, it's now using or linking or buddying to the blue, or the green in this case. So now I'm going to go and save to quilt. And you can see now that the white hasn't changed here because these pieces are still buddied to color tag B. I've only changed the color tag that B's pieces are linked to. And one of the things that I'm going to show you now is how to edit that color. So it's here, it's in the block. I find it a little bit bright. Well, do I need to link it to a new color tag? No, I can actually go and edit the color tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this pencil and I'm going to actually hover over the different colors until I find the one that I'd like to use. This Mirage Blue, and when I click on it, now it's been reassigned to this color. Okay, always a good idea to save. So going back to the blocks tab, I now want to add this next outer block. That's square and a square. So I click on Add Quilt and it immediately adds it there. And again, this one I want to have, instead of the white inside, I want the green. Now, if I went to the color tags and I edited this to the green, it'll change it for everything, and that's not what I want to do, right? So I'm going to actually exit that. What I need to do is link this piece of the quilt to a different color tag. So I go into Edit, I select everything that's using color tag B, and then I link it to color tag C, and I save it to the quilt. So now you can see I have the green squares inside the black squares. Actually, I have the wrong block in place. So very easily, since they're still selected, not a problem. And this is where the value of PreQuilt is so awesome, is I can just simply add to quilt the correct block. And then I can rotate those. And then in this, I'm actually going to use some different color tags where I'm going to edit it, and instead of black and white, I want to change this black to a gold color, right? And so I've run out of color tags here. The thing that I can do now is create a new color tag, link it, and then I can also edit it to be a goldish color, save to quilt, and now I have that in place. So that's how I would recreate a portion of the cover quilt. But just say you wanted to change it a little bit, make it kind of more your own. How would you maybe put in this block again, but with a different color? So you can go back and select all those and delete it. And then you can put in that quilt block again. So when you add that, you can see how, okay, now it's exactly the same as this, but I want to have actually different colors. If I go in and edit this block and maybe change all these to gold, when I save to the quilt, these are now gold as well. And that's not what I would like to have. So I'm going to go and change these back to black. The way to get around that is to actually duplicate this block. So clone it. So now you have a second one. I'm going to add that one to the quilt. And then I'm going to edit the block so that it's actually using this pink. So when I save it to the quilt, now you can see that only these ones are pink and these are black because we have two different instances of the block. I'm going to rotate, I'm going to select the ones that I want and rotate them. And now you can see how I have this quilt block as a different version than that. I'm going to save. And then I'm also going to just kind of maybe play with what the color tags could be. So this is where it can get pretty fun. Just say the only colors I really want to keep are these two. I can lock them. And now I can use the color randomizer to see what other fun options there are. Alright, so now that I have kind of my version that I like the mostest here, what I can do is I can download the image. It will give me the information on what colors I was using, so this will be very helpful for when I'm creating the blocks. And it also tells me how many of each block that I'll need as well. And so what I can do here is I can download my design. I can also click on show the block name, and this is where it will be very helpful for me to know where the block is going to go in addition to how many I need. And I can also download that. Alright, thanks so much, and I hope you have a great time with the book. It's a wonderful adventure. Bye!